boss beauty queens, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Darian, and in today's video, y'all, I am going to be sharing with you guys everything that I did to pass my NCLEX state board examination. So this video has been requested so much ever since I actually posted on my Instagram this post right here announcing my passing on my state board. So I wanted to put some time aside today and get this video out to you guys because I know a lot of you guys are going to be taking your exam very soon, and if I can give you guys some tips that I did as I studied and they may help you, well, the sooner the better, right? So yes, friends, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into what I did as I studied for the NCLEX. All right, y'all, so what I want to address first is a feeling that I did not only experience while studying for the NCLEX, and I'm sure many of you guys also have already experienced if you guys have already been preparing to study for the NCLEX, or you guys are going to soon experience once your time actually comes. But I completely hit this wall after nursing school. After I graduated, I did not want to study. I did not want to do anything. Like, I could not believe that I still had to study for the state boards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was miserable. It was awful. I couldn't really believe that I was studying 13 plus hours a day while being in nursing school, because I could not for the life of me find myself studying a solid 4 hours, 3 hours for the NCLEX. Like, I could not do it. So after, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start watching a lot of YouTube videos. Hopefully the people on here sharing tips will motivate me to just get started. So as I'm watching these videos, I'm not motivated at all. It's just like low-key stressing me even more out, seeing what a lot of these YouTubers, you know, were suggesting and the tips. And I watched someone and they had recommended reading the entire Saunders NCLEX book. And I'm like, hold up. I do not have any energy inside of me or any like more brain capacity in me to read an entire textbook. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I heard that tip, I was like, oh, hell no! This girl was not reading the entire NCLEX Saunders book to prepare for her state board. So then it started making me feel like, oh my Lord, I don't know what I'm doing, you know? So I ended up just shutting all these YouTube videos down because I could not. What they were doing, the months that they were preparing for this NCLEX, everything that they were doing was low-key kind of intimidating me. And I'm just like, girl. So what I'm gonna share with you guys is what I did, how I studied for my state boards. All right, friends, so the first thing that I actually recommend doing is creating your own calendar planner type of deal and really getting yourself organized as you are preparing for your exam. I will insert how mine looked right here. This was a schedule that I created for myself and what I knew that I was able to do. So the biggest thing that I would recommend when you are actually creating your little planner to prepare for your NCLEX is to be realistic. I remember that I created one little calendar and I was like, you know what, girl, you're gonna do 150 questions a day. It was just very unorganized and it wasn't realistic. And so finally I ripped that thing up because I could not do it, you know, like physically, mentally, I was just over it. So yes, make sure that you do a calendar. So as I was preparing to study for the exam, I did tell myself that I was going to wake up every single day at 7 in the morning and study and do all of my questions before lunchtime actually hits, okay? I feel like this right here is the key to finishing all of your guys' test questions. So if you guys really discipline yourself to wake up at a certain time, act like it's a part-time job or whatever, and then tell yourself you are gonna be getting out by noon, and then you have the rest of the day to chill with your friends, chill with your loved ones, do this, do that, because I really wanna emphasize that studying for your NCLEX is not nursing school. You should not be sitting down for 9 hours a day, you know, 10 hours a day just in your books doing this. Because for me, I was so sick in nursing school. Like, I physically, mentally, emotionally could not do it anymore. And I told myself that I did not want this NCLEX to feel like that. I didn't want it to feel like I was in nursing school all over again. So if you guys can give yourself a time that you guys want to wake up, you know, Monday through Friday, I'm gonna wake up at this time, make sure all my questions are done by this time so that way I have the rest of the day to chillax. I would highly recommend doing something like that. Get yourself organized before you even actually start diving into material. All right, y'all, so before I actually jump into what I did and the material that I actually studied to prepare for the NCLEX, I do want to give a huge huge shout out to a dear friend that actually helped me find out what I needed to do in order to study for the NCLEX, and that is to you, Miss Colleen. I will drop her Instagram handle right here. This beauty of a queen jumped into my DMs when I needed her the most. She messaged me and gave me so much amazing tips on what she really did. So I did just want to shout her out specifically, because if it wasn't for her, I don't think that I would have studied this way and this condensed. Okay, so if you are anything like me and you are getting overwhelmed by how much material you feel like you need to be studying, let me tell you, what I did to prepare is the most condensed way that I could ever imagine studying. All right, guys, so the first thing that I do want to say, and which I highly recommend doing, is if you have ever heard of Mark Kalemic, I hope that's how you say his name, okay? But if you have ever been recommended to listen to Mark K's audio lectures, guys, you were not hearing that by no surprise, okay? I recommend listening to this instructor's lectures. This man is actually a retired registered nurse, and after his nursing career, he actually moved over to write the state board NCLEX questions. So he knows the way they word the questions, what they ask, what do you need to know as a nurse in order to pass this examination. So with his audio lectures, he gives so many good tips, tricks, mnemonics on how to memorize the material, just really how to just connect it and what you need to know versus what you don't need to know on this exams. All right, y'all, and so with the Mark Kalemic's notes, I did just want to show you guys them. So this is how the Mark Kalemic's lecture notes look. They are absolutely beautiful. I literally love them. Whoever typed these all out is a angel sent from above, because they literally did all the dirty work for me. So as I was listening to Mark Kalemic's online lectures, I was just reading through this as he was talking, and it made my life that much easier, because there was a lot of things that he was saying, and instead of pausing and, you know, re-listening and doing this and doing that on his actual videos, all the information was already written down. So it was very convenient and time saving. Oh, I just really appreciate this man so much, because he just shared some juice, and he shared and simplified so much topics that our professors would never simplify because they just don't like us that much. So I do know that he actually did take down all of his audio lectures from YouTube, but I did find this TikTok through Colleen. So with that being said, check out the description of this video right here, because I will post the link to where I actually found all of these audio lectures in case they aren't on the internet anymore. All right, but if they do get taken down from this video, just know that I'm not going to post them anymore. So download them as fast as you can, in a sense, because they were already taken down once. And if I have to take them down, you know, this time I'm going to take them down because I don't want to get in trouble. So with all that being said, just know if it wasn't for him, I really don't know how I would understand a lot of this information. All right, friends, so this next tip that I want to share with you guys is this testing preparation website, and that is called UWorld. I cannot tell you guys how much I heard nothing but positive things about UWorld, you know, and so I was like, okay, I knew for a fact that I was going to purchase UWorld as I prepared for the exam, and nonetheless, it was helpful, but to an extent, okay? With UWorld, the format of the actual system is exactly like your state board examination. The same color, the same writing, the same format. Everything is the exact same, except you don't have the option to actually cross out different answer choices on the NCLEX as you did in UWorld. So that was the main difference that I noticed. With UWorld, you will actually have a pre-exam and then a post-exam. So with these examinations, I am more than positive that you have to score greater than a 55% on them in order to show like you have a good chance of passing the NCLEX, okay? I can tell you that I did not get through all the UWorld questions, and it's okay if you don't get through all the UWorld questions. I know a lot of people want to get their money worth and want, you know, you paid $200 for this subscription or $180 to access UWorld. You want to use and do all the questions that you can, but this was something that I really want to emphasize in this video, is that you don't need to do all the questions in order to be successful on your NCLEX, okay? The NCLEX is all information that you have already learned, that you have already reviewed in nursing school. Now it's just kind of testing you on whether or not you know the material. Something really cool about the NCLEX as well is that if you get a certain topic wrong, the NCLEX does give you another chance to redeem yourself and in a sense get it actually correct. With UWorld, I actually gave myself a minimum of 100 questions a day. I was trying to finish all of the UWorld questions, which was like 2,000 plus. I just could not before my exam. So the most important thing with those questions is the rationales. I really feel like it's one thing to actually answer the questions. However, it's a completely different thing to read the rationales as to why you got a question wrong or even why you got it right. I actually did take notes as I was going and I was doing rationales. All right, y'all. So as you guys can see right here, this packet was all of the rationales that I actually typed out from UWorld on the questions that I was either getting wrong or I just could not make it make sense for the life of me. So I do recommend you opening up a separate little Word document and typing down any like rationales that you're just like, okay, I need to know this info, you know? So yeah, this is exactly what it looked like. I just made a small little study guide so that way at the end, I was actually able to go back into this packet right here and just review everything that I kind of got wrong or a lot of the things that I struggled with while I was answering the UWorld questions. So that is something that I did during my UWorld 100 questions a day. All right, friends, so the day before my exam, like I said, I did my post-assessment. However, before my post-assessment on my calendar, it said that I needed to review any information that I was not comfortable with. So I did dive into my nursing school binder and pulled out an EKG paper that I knew that I needed to review because EKGs are something that I was not strong in and that I really needed to work on my skills with. So I just pulled this little sheet from my notes right here. And so yeah, this was something that I also just reviewed. I reviewed my lab values, which is right here. And then just a few extra little NCLEX tips and tricks right here. So I do recommend also giving yourself a day to just study anything that you are kind of having like a little blank and you are not so strong in. All right, guys. So one more thing that I completely forgot to mention on what I actually did was I created flashcards to prepare for this exam. There were a lot of medications showing up on UWorld that I seen over and over again in my nursing curriculum and I just did not remember for the life of me. So I did do some flashcards that were all medications, or even towards the end it was a lot of like words that I was getting incorrect and I did not know the definition to. So that is something that I would highly recommend doing as well, because at the end of the day, medications is something to memorize. I did want to mention something else that a friend actually sent me, and if you guys were interested, I will post this down in the description of this video as well, so that way you guys can actually download a copy for yourself. This was not made by me, this was made from a friend of mine. However, she used this packet right here to study for the NCLEX, and I know that we all learn differently, we all study differently, and so if you know her method worked for her, it might also work for some of you guys as well. So there is a lot of good info in it, and yeah, this is something that you guys can also just, I guess, quickly review and quickly just kind of touch on. All right, friends, so that actually concludes this video today. I really hope that all of these tips that I shared with you guys are helpful and that you guys are actually going to be able to use them. So just like always, have a beautiful, blessed rest of your guys' days and weeks. Until next time, I love y'all so much. Bye, guys.